My, yeah, let's make a good old rock system right here. This is the Lightning Audio B4-250.2. Let me explain something to some folks out there that don't know the difference between vintage and antique. These are not called antique amplifiers because the antique's 100 years old or older. Vintage would be 20 and up to say 100. That would be vintage. That's the difference. If you don't know the difference, do your homework. Google it. All right. That's why I call these vintage amplifiers. They're 20 years old or older. That would be a vintage amplifier. Not an antique. No, not an antique. Somebody commented about that, and I was like, well, no, that's not correct. Listen, if you're gonna try to correct something I'm saying, at least get it right. No, this is a vintage amp. I've got one just like this, I believe in Miller's room. No, his is not this strong. This one comes with two 20 amp fuses, and his has two 15s. The Bolt series, the Lightning Bolt series. So this one is a stronger amp. They're almost built the same as far as the heat sink. This is the one you couldn't see what it was. Yeah. And don't this look a lot like a Jensen? Looks a lot like it, don't it? Go back and look at the videos. It also has a lot in common with Performance Technique. Yep. I'm going to say probably the same build houses. Now, rumor has it, rumor mill and all this stuff, that this was a Rockford knockoff or whatever. Now, what it may have been is if Rockford done like the Morass Engineering, and you know how they got their E-Series line that made in China, and then they got their amps that they say they make here with China parts. Yeah. So that's probably what's going on with Lightning Audio. I would say Lightning Audio was a lot of its knockoff stuff made in China. In other words, Rockford may have sent their design over to China, something they're not using anymore. Got a bunch of leaners and stuff. But anyway, and they probably produced them there. That would be my guess. Yeah. But if you look at the Jensen stuff, and you look at Lightning Audio stuff, and you look at a lot of Performance Technique stuff, it looks a lot alike. The Performance Technique stuff is just built better. I mean, you just look inside of it and tell it's built better. I'll show you a amp. Another one I got, Performance Technique, that's going to look pretty similar to this. Yeah. I took the fuses out because it had 40s in it. And they don't need 40s in it. No. Look, they left some little copper in there. See, these are Goodwill amps, man. This came from Goodwill. Go figure, another Goodwill product. Somebody took a vintage amplifier to Goodwill. Hey, I'm all for it, man. Keep doing it. Y'all keep doing it. I appreciate it. This is strictly a, well, no, this is a high to low amp. This will do, well, let me take this back. This would be great for something like mid bass. When it says high, nah. I mean, depends on what octave that crossover is, but This is a bridgeable amp. That's cool. Yep. 40 amps of fusing at 15, 16 volts. You're probably looking at 600 watts here. Yep. I guess you could use it mids, highs, and bass, but I would probably use this for a good mids amp. Yep. I'd set it probably right there at flat. Crank that up to, I don't know, 150, 200. Put this on a set of mids, be killer. But you could use it on anything, really. It's not going to get hot, man. They got all that figured out with that heat sink. The Bolt series, the ones that says they were torture tested, their chassis is almost the same as these. I guess they figured out they're not going to have a heating issue. They really didn't need a fan. Like I said, the fan that's in the yellow ones, they don't get hot, man. I mean, you can play them all day long. They just don't. The aluminum, that is solid. From here to here is solid. When you got the grooves cut, just look how thick that is. That is a lot of aluminum. That's a bunch. These are very heavy. I'd say this is a good 15 to 20 pounds. Same as Performance Technique. That's why I say there's a lot in common with these amps. The big heat, the real big thick heat sinks, and the color, the board, just the overall components they're using are a lot the same. The design's the same. It's good stuff, man. I mean, the inductors look the same. The power supplies look the same. Let's see what kind of TFY capacitors. 35 volt 3300s. See, that's pretty strong, man. That's two 3300s right there. Not strong voltage wise, but that's a lot of capacitance. And you got over here 25 2200. Notice it's glued down. What all the companies should have been doing. What is that one? Can't see, man. They got all this stuff cramped up in there. That's how you know it's made in China. They use them little bitty eyes, and look, we got a little small eyes, and we're way down in his ass. Round eye can't see. Let me see if I can get in here. What the hell is that? Damn, zoom, lady. What the hell's that say? God darn, that's tiny. Let me zoom her in. What brand the hell is that? Same. Yep. TFY. So you got 1,000 and 2,200 of input filtering. I mean, this amp hadn't been cleaned, man. It looks pretty damn good. Notice that all that goo up in there. See how they did that? That's to keep them solder traces down. Look right there. Did a nice job on that. That's on the RCAs. That's a good idea too. I don't see that a lot anymore. That right there keeps a lot of dust and stuff from getting in there and making a contact between the two. As far as the positive and the ground, basically. That's a good idea. I hadn't seen that in a long time. Very long time. So there you go, man. Another product from good old Goodwill. I think it was, I can't remember. Was it $24 or something? I don't know. I paid for it because I wanted to get it. It wasn't dirt cheap, but it was cheap enough. I was like, psst, you can't find this lighting and audio stuff in really good shape. I mean, it's got some scratches on it. It ain't perfect, but this part looks good. I mean, this part here looks real good. It's just that right there, which I could do something with that if I wanted to. And this right here is just, not the it's not the bestest, but man, it's not too bad. I like it. I'll put some 20s in it, fire it up, see what it do. I'll show you the back plate. Arizona, Tempe, Arizona. Made in China. Yep. There it is. No date, of course. Got a barcode. I'll take that off. That just looks like shit right there. I can get that off without messing this one up. Alright guys, but I mean you can tell it hasn't been beat up. That's what's good about it. It's just had its normal. You can tell this is just from people throwing shit around, like saying putting their luggage on it or something. This amp's not been hurt. You can tell by the feet. And notice something else on that old the Volva Hog. When you look at that Volva Hog amp, notice the rubber feet on these right here. Notice the rubber feet. Why did they stop doing that on amps? I'm telling you why, because it keeps the amps from failing. They don't want amps to live forever. No, not nowadays they don't. It's easy to put a piece of rubber on the bottom of an amp, on the feet, but man, they do not want to do it. No, they don't want to do it because they know that it's going to help save the amp, and they can't sell amps. They want to sell them. All this extra little bulletproofing they do, it's hard to find amps that way anymore. They don't want them to live. Even the $3,000 stuff, they don't want them to live, man. They want them to crash out so they can get repaired and or get replaced. Yep. Give you just enough. It's kind of like a girl. I always use girls as a comparison because they're good comparisons. They both put out real good. You know what I'm saying? And they got a lot of inputs. They got a lot of inputs and outputs. The amps they sell now, these high dollars, is like a girl trying to get you wrapped up. You know what I mean? It's like finding you a little trailer park girl. She gonna have the best poon in her ever. Because you know why? She wants to get out of trailer park. Yes, so she's gonna give you the best poon in her you ever had. You can be like, damn. And then as soon as you get her, she's gonna get all trapped up, get you trapped up, make a baby, take half your shit, leave, marry another dude that's better than your ass. Well, he might not be better than you, but that's what she's gonna do. You gonna pay me child support. Yeah, that's what they all do. And then they gonna get a great big old fat ass when it used to be real nice and tight. That sucker's gonna have an ass wide as a tractor trailer truck, where she needs one of them signs, wide load, on her big old ass. Yep, they do it to everybody. Yep. You guys take care. That's one thing I'm glad about Miller's mama. She ain't got no big old fat ass. No, it's about average size now, but when she was younger, it was real nice. I always talk about her in front of his ass. And he can be rolling his eyes because he don't know shit that I know. It's funny as hell, man. It's hilarious. Yeah. He'd be rolling his eyes around. One day we was bullshit talking, and I said, I don't remember what it was. He's talking about somebody with fake boobs, and I said, who's got fake boobs? And he's telling me. I said, well, damn, Miller, what's wrong with that? He said, oh, it's just kind of weird. I said, well, your mama's got fake boobs. It looked like, hey, you want to talk about somebody look like somebody pissed in their cornflakes. Holy shit. He said, I said, hell yeah. Because she don't wear little shit like she did back then. I probably got some pictures. I might show y'all pictures. Man, she's a pretty woman. Yeah, hell yeah. I ain't gonna be with no ugly motherfucker, no. When he found out his mama had fake bobos, I said, Miller, I bought the son of bitches. I know they're fake. I was there. Matter of fact, I've bought 4 sets of boobs, y'all. 4 sets of titties. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm not in the titty buying market no more. No more boobs buying. That's not going to happen. If you ain't got boobs, you're going to have to buy them on your own. Well, she had some already, but some girls didn't. And man, I had one, I paid for hers 2 times. Hell yeah. You guys take care and have a great day. I'll fire this stuff up and show you what's going on. See you.